back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews, and this is just a little addendum to add to the post-credit scene that I did watch. I thought the episode was ending a little early, so I kind of fast-forwarded through the credits a little bit, and then all of a sudden there's this extra scene. And I didn't apparently catch, not even apparently, I did not catch what everybody else was catching. And that sounds like I'm talking about something else, but so we're talking full spoilers. If you have not seen the episode, don't listen to what I'm saying. Okay, so everybody clear? All right, I'm talking about it. So there were a couple of things that are kind of troubling some of us out there, and the big one is the scratch that she scratched, and I didn't catch it. I was so busy looking at her twirling her hair that I just didn't pay attention to it. I saw the stuff with her seeing Jack. I thought, okay, what's that mean? And then she's looking at the thing about Terry, and I was like, I had forgotten that she said, "Who's Terry?" And at the time, I was like, what? Did she just say she doesn't remember who Terry was? And then with everything else that happened during the episode, I just kind of forgot. And didn't bring it up, I don't think, in the review about Terry. So, a couple of things then. The Terry thing, I'm wondering if it's like PTSD. Where after everything she's seen and saw in that cave, outside the cave, with everybody getting killed, that maybe she forgot along the way why they were doing it. Who this was for. All the information that she's so good at knowing things, that maybe her at the end looking up Terry was a way to remind herself like who this guy was. Maybe it literally got flushed out of her head. I don't know. I really don't. That's my only theory, is that maybe there's some sort of trauma that made her forget. It's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. Seriously. Because she's not one of these things, all right? She's an established book character. Unless they wanted to go really, really, really off book, she's not the outsider. I mean, some people could say, well, she says an outsider knows an outsider, but we all know what she really means by that. It means that she's like it in the sense that she lives, the way she is on the outside, kind of like this thing lives on the outskirts of, like, normalcy. Like, way out. Now, as far as the scratch goes, right? So it must have scratched her when she was down next to it. Why she didn't feel it, I don't know. That's a pretty good size scratch. My theory is, well, first let's talk about this. Another thing, another commenter brought this up, is why didn't they cause a cave-in on their way out? Like, why didn't they just start firing, man? Or just literally that place was ready to come down. He stabs it in the hand. It's laying there and its face is crushed, right? But to me, that this thing can still come back. If it can move its face around, then it can put itself back together again eventually. If somebody finds it, thinks it's a person, brings it out, I feel like that's a purpose. That's a plot hole that they left open on purpose, so that if there is another season, somebody finds it, somebody gets it out, and then it feeds and heals itself and is able to become her. So I disagree. I feel like that's one of the only things that I didn't really like now, looking at it back, looking at it now with new information, is they should have blown that fucking cave, like, up. They should have closed it in on itself so that even if it can come back, it is smashed under rocks. It ain't just going to heal itself. It might not be able to die, but it won't be able to live either. And who knows when that cave would ever... Nobody would ever get that back up again unless somebody way down the line decided to develop something over that and dig it up and somehow get it out and, like, find this, like, messed up corpse looking thing that, like, the mummy or something, and comes back to life. Now the scratch, though, what I think it's saying is keeping it open for it to become her. Again, like I said, they're leaving that plot hole open for it to become her next. In the meantime, it's she saw Jack because it's in her head now. It's laying in that cave, not dead. It's pretty badly, pretty badly damaged. Think like what the kids did a little bit on a smaller level to the actual creature in it. They stopped it for a time, but it was always kind of in their head. This, I think she saw Jack because it is in her head now, and they're connected. And it can probably see through her eyes, but not control her like Jack. It's weird. It's a really weird thing because I still don't think we've established the rules completely about what this thing really can do. None of it was really explained, in my opinion, but that's fine. I like that. You don't always have to know everything. So, that's my 2 cents in the whole thing. Is that if there's another season, that's how they do it. Is somehow somebody finds it in there, gets it out, and it can become her, and that would be a whole new mess. The thing is about that idea to me is just like, I don't know. I don't know how necessary that is, except for more ratings, and I feel like the premise could get tired really quickly because we already know how it operates. There's no more mystery. It's more just like, how do we find it again? Now that it looks like a friend of ours. So that's what I think. I hope you guys don't mind this video, or maybe this helps fill in the gaps. But honestly, next time if anybody out there finds a El Cuco in a cave, close that fucking cave and don't give it a way out and leave a plot hole open for another season, because to me that's it's kind of a cheat, kind of a lame way to end a really, 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 really well written show. And I just looked in the background and my Breaking Bad poster is starting to peel off the wall. So time to go fix that. So thanks again, everybody, for watching last night's review. And if you choose to watch this little addendum, just think of this as a second little add-on to the review from yesterday. So thanks, guys, for everyone pointing out that I missed the scratch and that she forgot about Terry and all that. And I hope this kind of helps some people, with ideas of what that meant. Again, leave comments in the comment section about what you guys think of what I just said and what your theories are. Otherwise, hit the bell for all notifications, like, subscribe, blah, 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 all that jazz. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at reviews_gun. Have a great day, and we will see you maybe on Season 2. Bye. So you can consider this like a post-credits scene, because I was exporting this when I remembered one last thing to talk about, and that was when it was changing faces. Okay? I think one of the reasons why it was real easy to smash its face was because when it changed, right, it first started to look like Bateman. At the end, it looked like somebody really older. I don't think it was Ralph. But it also looked like the girl from jail and the guy, the second guy, the guy right before Terry. But right after it was Terry, it really looked like her. It looked like Holly for a second. And when it saw that, when Ralph saw that, I feel like that was extra motivation, and he never tells her. So I think he knows that there's something off. That's all I'm saying, is that if it can look like her, if he saw that for a second, if I'm right about that, then he might know something's wrong with her, or that it could be her. I don't know. That's the last thing I had to say, but I'm sorry. I had to add it, because I do think it looked like her for a really quick second around the eyes and the face before it turned into the second guy, the guy previous to Terry. So anyway, that's it for real. Okay, post-credits talk about this. Bye.